Hello, welcome to the Morning Serve, brought to you by Canadian Club. I'm Nick McArdle. John Millman is here. Plenty to talk about today. The fourth round getting underway. First up, De Minaur v Bublik. Cannot wait for this one. Let's go back and have a look at De Minaur's last match. And Alex was on fire. Have you seen him play that well?
No, I haven't. Not here at the Australian Open. He was so impressive. And this has been building. I thought he was very good in round one, even a little bit better in round two. But in that third round clash against Francis Tiafoe, I thought he did an incredible job of setting the tone early, keeping the foot on the throat and not letting up.
What are the additions? I mean, he's talked about how much work he did in the off-season, but what's he bolted onto his game?
A couple of things. I think he's serving better. He had been getting his serve speed up over the last few seasons, but he's got better rhythm now. He's not over-serving to get those serve speeds up. And what I mean by that, as the match wore on, he was consistent with his serve speeds, but he didn't throw himself off. So he's landing a higher percentage of first serves in. I think that's first and foremost. He's a good returner, so he's always going to take care of his return games. The other thing is he's looking to take the ball early. He's always had that in him, but he's trying to do that more often because the earlier he can take the ball, the quicker it gets back to his opponent. And finally, he's hitting a bigger ball. And I think that's clear to see for everyone. He's bulked up a little bit. His ball's bigger. Why is he doing this? It's for Alcaraz and Sinner.
Yep.
And a few players have said they're trying to do that. Casper Ruud said he needs to do it. Stefanos Tsitsipas says he needs to do it. Alex has taken on that advice, and it seems to be working.
The other thing that was noticeable about Francis Tiafoe, he was getting frustrated, and that's that De Minaur scramble. Like, he's making his opponent play that one extra shot all the time.
Well, he's the fastest human ever. I mean, he is so fast. He shrinks the court so well. I think it's a daunting prospect, too, when you're playing Grand Slam tennis, so best of 5-set tennis against Alex De Minaur, because you know it's going to be so incredibly physical. And I thought Francis Tiafoe got a bit more frustrated as the match wore on because De Minaur shrinking the court with his speed, but also the prospect in Francis' mind of having to win 3 sets, you know, the next 3 sets to go to the distance is a really tough one for him. So, yeah.
His next opponent, Alexander Bublik. Now, what's the rub on Alexander? He looks like, and I love this, he looks like a club player. He looks like, you know, he loves to play tennis, but he might like a beer as well. You know, he's just a good time kind of guy. Give us a bit of the background.
And I think that's pretty fair there. Look, I would like to say this is Alexander Bublik 2.0. And around March last year, his coach suggested they weren't playing all that well, and so they actually went to Las Vegas and, you know, got it all out of their system, had quite a deep and meaningful talk. Are we going to actually do this seriously? And then version 2 came of Alexander Bublik. Yes, you still get the drama and you still get the joker card being played. He'll underarm serve, he'll throw in the slice, he'll hit flat serves, he'll engage the crowd, but he is more locked in, and he's locked in at important times. The tough thing for Alex against Alexander Bublik is the fact that this guy can win points in multiple ways. He has the serve, he has big ground strokes, he has good feel around the net so he can get forward and finish off points, and then he'll throw in the drop shot and that bit of variety. So it's an exciting matchup.
Okay, so give us a scoreline. We obviously want Alex to win it, but is it 3 sets? Is it 4? Is it 5?
You also got to remember, before I give the scoreline, is that Alexander Bublik beat the Demon the last time they played at Roland Garros in 5. I'm going to go the Demon, though. I wouldn't be Australian if I didn't say the Demon. I'm going to go the Demon in 4.
All right, fingers crossed. Carlos Alcaraz, Tommy Paul. That's what we're looking forward to there. Alcaraz, he looks like he might have gone, and it's unbelievable to say it, but he might have gone to another level. I mean, what's the ceiling for this kid right now?
I think we're only scratching the surface at the moment. He's so young in his career, but he's the type of player that is always looking to improve his game. And we've seen that a couple of years ago. It was the back end. We saw that slight little technical adjustment in the backswing. We saw him make another technical adjustment on his serve last year. And then this year, he's got the whole Novak Djokovic start happening. So he's the type of player that's always looking for little inroads, looking for bits of improvement. The thing is with Carlos is a bit like Bublik. He has so many ways how he can win points. So there's just so much canvas to work with. Are we scratching the surface? I think we are.
What about this stat? 87 of his first 100 Grand Slam matches. That's what he's won. I mean, that's amazing. Equal with Bjorn Borg for best ever That's a nice class to be placed in, right?
It's absolutely ridiculous, and it's something that I think the Spanish Tennis Federation, Juan Carlos Ferrero, who he's not with right now, saw at a young age. They saw this young 15-year-old when he walked through the academy doors at Juan Carlos Ferrero's academy, and they knew they had someone pretty special and someone that wouldn't take too long to go from being a junior player to a men's player, and that's what you're seeing with that stat. It's a ridiculous statistic, and the sky's the limit.
So the possibility of completing the career slam here, he's never made it past the quarters in Melbourne. Is that something that would even occur to him? Is it in the back of his mind, or is it like, whatever?
I'm unsure if he's putting that type of pressure on him. I think he's quite confident in his game that if it's not this year, it's next year or the year after. I can't imagine that we're going to go through Carlos Alcaraz's career not winning this tournament. He plays well on the hard courts. We saw him win the US Open last year, at the back end of last year. So we know he can play on this surface. I think it's a matter of when, not if.
Well, Carlos's opponent today, Tommy Paul, they're 2-2 on hard court. That's a nice little record for Tommy Paul to be leaning on. How does he approach this match?
I think he can go and approach this match as if he's playing the number one in the world. He's got the license to thrill. Not a whole lot of pressure. He can pin the ears back, go after his shots. Tommy Paul is a very, very good player. He was top 10 last year, and then he had a whole lot of injuries that started with his foot. He tore his calf. It really, fragmented that 2025 season. I watched him closely in Adelaide. I thought he was playing some very good tennis, and he started to play some really good tennis here at the Australian Open. You've got to remember, the Americans, they grow up on the hard courts. The Spaniards, like Carlos Alcaraz, they grow up on the clay courts. Tommy Paul's right in this one.
All right, let's talk about someone else that not many people are, it seems, at this point of the tournament. That is Daniil Medvedev. Yeah. By his standards, had a bit of a Barry in 2025. I think you said he's back. What have you seen?
Yeah, he had a mare, didn't he? 2025 was not the Daniil Medvedev that we expected, a guy who has featured at deep stages in Grand Slams. Last year, he hardly won a match at a Grand Slam, but I think he's back. He did have his difficulties, though, against Mazrushan in that third-round encounter where he's down 2-0. Now, I think some people were thinking, is Daniil Medvedev of old going to implode here?
Yep.
But he kept his cool. He realised that, he's got that game with him because he's been playing good tennis, won Brisbane, comes back, wins the next 3 sets, and he progresses through to the 4th round. I really like what I'm seeing from Daniil Medvedev. I hope he can keep on pushing on because he's one of the few that's proven that he can win one of these Grand Slams.
And he's also proven over the stretch that little marathon that he had the other night shouldn't impact him too much.
No. I don't think it will. I think with Daniil Medvedev, he will be wary of stacking best of 5-set matches together. So he won't want another 5-set match because it's those accumulation of back-to-back-to-back 5-set matches that can really start telling on your body.
Having said that, against Tien, he did have a 5-set match here last year, and the young bloke got rid of him. He dumped him out of this tournament. So there's that nice little bit of history here as well.
Tien's a very, very good player. He's also got a bit of freedom because he's defended his points from last year already by getting to this stage. This is a better version of Tien. Last year, he ended up winning at the end of the year the Next Gen Finals. Now, you've seen some pretty impressive players win the Next Gen Finals before, a guy called Yannick Sinner being one of them. So, look, I think that Tien is a better version than he was last year, but we're seeing a better version of Daniil Medvedev in 2026 than what we saw in 2025. I think it's going to be a fascinating matchup. I'm going to go Daniil Medvedev,
I thought that's the way you were heading with this. Hey, we're just going to stop down. Canadian club crush time now. We asked Casey Delacroix yesterday about rule changes. What sort of rules and regulations might she change if she could? It's an interesting question. What about you?
Yeah, I did actually notice Casey's Canadian club crush question, and I would have liked her to add one more thing, and that is the ball toss. As soon as that ball toss is thrown up, it's game on. Players can't catch the ball toss. I think it's part of your serve. I also think it would speed up play. I think some players are getting a little bit tricky too in between first and second serves. If they want a little bit of extra time, they throw the ball toss up, catch it, and they're buying a few seconds.
Can you imagine though, like the Pat Rafter sorry mate would not be part of the vernacular now if that was the case?
It might be one Grand Slam less from Paddy Rafter, but no. I just think that once the motion starts, that should include the ball toss.
Is Putintseva the new Collins?
Yeah, she might be. She might just be. I saw the scenes against Somnes, which was, Yeah, a bit audacious, you could say, a bit plucky there where she was starting to almost twerk. She's a person that plays with her heart on the sleeve. She gets a bit fired up. We've always known this throughout her career. Is she taking it too far? I think a few people would say she is. I'm erring on the side of caution because I still like a bit of attitude, and I think we need these colourful storylines in tennis.
Is there a skill in that? And you think about Novak Djokovic here over the years, has kind of fed off what he has perceived to be negative energy from the crowd, and it looks like she might have that ability as well. Is that a good thing?
You are absolutely spot on. There's no doubt in my mind she is playing the villain card to her advantage. She's a smart girl out there. She knows what she's doing. She knows that that's what brings out her best tennis, and I think that she's playing the card perfectly.
And a character, and this is what you touched on, and it's a game at the moment, some people might say, compared to, days gone by, is lacking a few characters. So if she can be that, happy days.
Yeah, it's funny. I just hope we have the same standards across generations. Now we look back and we look at John McEnroe's antics and we have a massive laugh about them. So I think we should afford, the same judgment.
All right. If the tennis can match the antics, perhaps.
But that's the big thing. The tennis has to match the antics.
John, thank you very much. Thank you for your company on this edition of The Morning Serve, brought to you by Canadian Club.
WWOS Sports is your home of the Australian Open. From highlights of the best players, every magic Aussie moment, and the best expert analysis.
We'll have every nail-biting, heartwarming, and edge-of-your-seat point covered. Subscribing to Wide World of Sports on YouTube is a must for any tennis fan.